Hey guys, what's up? This is Matthew Davis Media once again. Welcome back to another movie review, aka After I Saw, and this time it is going to be on The Call of the Wild. Now, this movie stars Harrison Ford and is about a dog called Buck, and basically he's basically born to lead, and he leads or starts becoming part of this pact, and he's used to help deliver packages and letters and stuff until all of a sudden, he can't do that anymore. So he leads his pack, and they have to find something else to do. So you got this bad guy who gets them, but Harrison Ford's character saves him, and now they're on an adventure on getting gold and stuff, and basically trying to live a better life. Now, the star of the show is obviously Buck, who is the CGI dog, and basically they use CGI throughout all the dogs. There are multiple dogs in this, they're all CG'd. I get why they did that, but honestly, it kind of made the movie a little bit too distracting. Don't get me wrong, the CGI for the dogs is fine, but it kind of bothered me that they weren't real dogs. I mean, I get why they couldn't use real dogs. If they used real dogs, then a lot of controversy would come up because, the dogs somewhat do get hurt in this movie, but uh, if they did use real dogs, then that would just be bad. So I get why they had to do that, but it just kind of distracted me a little bit. Now, I like dogs, okay, I really do, but I have always been a cat person, right, Sam? I've always been a cat person. Come here. That's not to say I don't like dogs. I have dogs. I have two dogs. We actually just got a puppy this weekend. We named him Astro, and we love him. I'm glad we got him. He's absolutely adorable. He's very playful. So I like dogs. And this is based off a novella, I think. And of course, I know nothing about the novella. But how does this film all play out? I think easily the best part of this movie is Harrison Ford. But unfortunately, he isn't in much of the movie until the second half of the movie. Most of the stuff is just these two characters basically leading the dogs, their original owners or whatever, leading them through like this big, adventure about, getting their posters or not posters, like their packages or whatever. And it can be entertaining for the most part. Visuals look really, really nice. But honestly, for the most part, with the look of the CGI, basically, I know you're going to hear me talk about the CGI dogs a lot. But like I said before, they distracted me a little bit. But honestly, the show saver is definitely Harrison Ford. Once it gets to that second act, Harrison Ford, his bond with the dog gets really, really, really emotional, and it gets really heartfelt. And watching Buck go through these adventures before he meets him, or before he has to go on his adventure with him, it's touching enough. Honestly, Harrison Ford's character is basically the only human character I really cared about throughout the entire movie. There is the bad guy who wants to, get the dog so he can find gold or whatever, blah blah blah. It's something that we see in tons and tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of other times. But for PG, they do get away with a little bit. Like near the last act, it can get pretty dark, and I'm not going to spoil anything for you, but I was actually surprised what they got away with there. And for the most part, I can say that, Harrison Ford's easily the best part. I mean, I don't really know what else to say. I mean, sure, Buck is likable enough. If you're a big dog lover, you're really going to love him. And he's likable enough. There is a part where, there's like this big bad wolf who wants to be leader, but Buck is not going to allow that. And, there's like a CGI dog fight or whatever, and it didn't really do anything for me. Like, I wasn't really emotionally invested, mainly because, like I said before, they're CGI dogs. All in all, this movie was alright, okay? Um, should you take your kids and families to see it? Sure, sure. If you're a big dog lover, then you're probably going to enjoy this movie. If you're a fan of the novella, you're probably going to enjoy this movie. It's just for me, the fact that they use CGI for all the dogs, it kind of distracted me for like, liking the movie just as much as, some other people out there would. It's just that, with a lousy villain who's barely in the movie, which thank God, and two acts of the story where, the last act was easily the better half in my opinion, while the first half is more of Buck's story than it is of Harrison Ford's story. And, you know, it's great to see Harrison Ford in something that's not a revival to a franchise. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. He's not bad in anything. As far as I know of, he's not bad in anything. So it's great to see him in a movie that's not a franchise, that's not a revival to a franchise like Star Wars or Blade Runner. Even though I love those two movies, Force Awakens and Blade Runner 2049, and I think those movies are better movies that he was in. But I could say he was great in this movie. To say it was a fine watch, you know, check it out if you have kids, or if you don't want to take them to see that. Sonic the Hedgehog is still playing. You might want to take them to see that for the 50,000th time. But all in all, it's a one-time watch for me, and I can say that it didn't piss me off or anything. It's a fine watch. I'm gonna give The Call of the Wild a 3 out of 5. So yeah. Wow, why do I always say so yeah after I give my rating? That is just so weird. But anyways, I cannot wait to see The Invisible Man this weekend. I am really looking forward to seeing that. Because we've had a lot of really not so good horror movies for the past 2 months now, except for The Lodge, which I really enjoyed. But Invisible Man looks promising. Cross my fingers, that's good. All right, but anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Word out.